Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the flavor constituents of onion and garlic. But before we start the topic, let us discuss about what is a food flavor. Any food flavor is a sensory perception that is given by the aroma and the taste of the food. So, whenever we taste food, we enjoy food, we take the flavor of the food. That means the food has been perceived by all the five senses of our body. And we, as human beings, can perceive any food substance differently depending on the uniqueness of our perception. Now, when we talk about foods, raw foods vary considerably from processed foods in their flavors. Many food have no flavors at all when they are raw, but when they are processed, they develop certain flavors which are very good, rich, and palatable. Now, without any further delay, let's start with the topic of flavor constituent of onion and garlic. Let us start with the introduction part where I have already told you that different food substances have typical flavors in them. So the flavors of the raw food material, it varies considerably from one food to another. And when the raw food is having some flavor and it is processed or frozen or cooled or stored or even transported, then the flavor of the food changes completely. Now, various types of reaction can be coming during all these processes, like it can undergo fermentation or Maillard browning or caramelization, crystallization, oxidation, so or any other heat processes which can bring about some significant process reaction that will change the flavor of the food completely. Now, let us come to our main topic and discuss the flavors of the raw onion. Now, raw onion, as we all know, bears a very strong, sharp, and sulfury flavor. Specifically, when we comes in contact with a raw cut onion, we have tears in our eyes. This is because of the fact that there is a particular enzyme that is present in the cell wall of the onion. So as we cut onion, these enzymes are eliminated along with the amino acids that are present in the onion. So these two amino acids and the alliinase enzyme, they react with each other to produce certain chemical compounds which are actually comes in contact with the lacrimal gland of the eyes and it causes tears. So this particular organic sulfury note of the onion is obtained specifically due to this alliinase and amino acid reaction. So whenever we talk about the pungency and the strong flavor of onion, there are several factors which determines all these reactions. Like the first and the foremost factor is the mechanical damage. That means what is the amount of mechanical damage that has been done to the onion, which actually determines its flavor and the amount of lacrimator it is releasing to cause tears in our eyes. Beside that, the soil in which the onion plant has been cultivated, and it also causes higher sulfur content in the onions. And if the onion contains higher sulfur in the cell itself and the species of the onion that you are using, it all determines what is the amount of pungency or what is the amount of strong flavor or intensity of flavor that any onion will have. Now in the slide, you can see there are various different types of onions which we use in our daily basis. Like we use white onion, red onion, we use yellow onion, shallow onions, scallion onions. These are very common onions. Beside these onions, there are various other types of onions that are available in the market. Each of them have their own flavor intensity and flavor profile. Now let us discuss about the flavors of the raw onion. So when we talk about the raw onion, then we have two different categories of flavor compounds that are present. One, the first category is called the sulfur containing compounds, and the second category is called the phenolic compounds. So the major sulfur compounds that are present in the onion are the thiosulfonates and the thiosulfonates, which constitute the main flavor of the onion. Beside that, we have quercetin, which is an antioxidant and anti-cancer agent. And whenever we take onion, we see that we are having a bad breath in our mouth. This bad breath is caused by the prophenyl sulfonic acid, which breaks down allele and causing this particular breath to come out. Other than that, we have phenolics, which consist of flavonols, polyphenols, anthocyanins, etc. We have the acidic notes of onion, which is due to the ascorbic acid that is present inside the raw onion. Now, you can see that whenever you are cutting onion in the figure, there are different cuts of onion that is shown. There are two ways to cut the onion. One is the against the grain, another is with the grain. So whenever you are cutting the onion with the grain, the flavor is very subtle and you have less pungency, less strong flavor. It will turn towards more sweeter variety. And whenever you are cutting the onion against the grain, then it will release more and more reclamator. It will have strong pungent smell. And whenever you are cooking this onion, it will even release more and more compounds, flavor compounds, which are strong. Now, let us discuss about the flavor modification of raw onion. Flavors of the onion can be modified by several different ways. Let us discuss those ways. The first and the very common way is macerating in vinegar. Macerating in vinegar, mostly we see that whenever we are marinating meat products or any other vegetables, we are adding vinegar and we are adding either paste of onion or shredded onion. This is a kind of a process which exemplifies macerating in vinegar. So when we do this type of processing, the onions become sweet and acidic, causing flavor enrichment in the particular food that we are marinating. The second processing that we do is light cooking of the onion. So whenever we are cooking the onion very lightly in a very low flame, it makes them savory and the flavor of the actual onion decreases, it becomes subtle. The pungency reduces significantly. Next, we have the sweating of onion. Sweating means when we are steaming the onion on a very low steam, then the flavor becomes more and more complex. It becomes intensified, concentrated, and it is very difficult to detect or perceive those onion flavor by human system. Next, we have the most used form of onion processing is the slow browning of onion. Slow browning of onion makes them brown in color and makes them rich and sweet in flavor. Now, after we have done this onion processing, we can go for other cooking different types of dishes and it will insert the modified flavor of the onion. Let's now discuss about the flavor modification in raw garlic. So like onion, garlic also has a very strong pungent flavor, but unlike onion, it also have a bittery flavor note. So the chemistry behind the onion and garlic flavor is same. Like garlic also have this enzyme allinase, which when chopped or cut or made into paste, it releases and combines with the amino acids that are released during the cutting of the cell wall, and the damage that is done, it produces a compound which is called allicin. This allicin particularly gives garlic its pungent and strong aroma. So the more amount of damage that you are doing to the garlic, the stronger is the flavor. But when you are cooking the garlic, unlike onion, which gives a sweeter flavor, garlic gives a nutty flavor when it is cooked. And one of the best part of garlic is its seasoning. So whenever we are taking the garlic, drying it, crushing it to make it garlic powder, it loses its original flavor and it can be used as a very ideal seasoning agent or flavor enhancer in different food substances. Now you can see the general types of garlic that you find in the market. We have white garlic, purple garlic, hybrid garlic, Szechuan garlic, and single bulb garlic. All these garlics are easily available and used in different types of food recipes. So let us now discuss about the flavors of the raw garlic. When we talk about the chemical compounds that are present in the raw garlic, there are two varieties of compounds, the sulfur compounds and the non-sulfur compounds. So let us first discuss about the sulfur compounds. Majorly beside the sulfur compound, we have allicin, like I discussed in the previous slide, which is responsible for the pungent taste of the garlic. We have thiosulfinates. Thiosulfinate actually creates the pungent odor, which is called the reactive pungent odor. So this reactive pungent odor is given out when a garlic is cooked or processed. It is also a typical of the pungent odor of garlic, but it is slightly cooked and it is thus called reactive pungent odor. Now talking about the sulfur compound, the major sulfur compound in garlic is diallyl disulfide, which actually contributes to the strong mustard flavor that garlic gives out when it is cut. Other than that, other sulfur compounds like diallyl trisulfide, allyl methyl sulfide, vinyl dithins, azoines, thiols, and sulfides are also present. Now, the non-sulfur compounds like aldehydes and phenols are also a part of the garlic, but they are present in much lesser amount as compared to the sulfur compounds. Now we will discuss about the flavor modification of raw garlic. So raw garlic flavor modification can be done principally in three different ways. Other than that, we have another thing that is slow cooking. So the first one is when any garlic is cooked. So when any garlic is cooked from its raw flavor, the allicin that is released due to the cut of the garlic, it forms addition compound and larger molecules are formed. Due to the formation of this larger molecule, the garlic taste and the flavor becomes more sweeter, it becomes softer, and the taste and the palatability becomes buttery. Other than that, whenever you are cooking garlic in high temperature, it also develops a partial nutty flavor. Now, whenever you are doing the roasting of garlic, general roasting of garlic only increases its pungency. But if you want to have a subtle taste of garlic, you can roast the garlic inside an aluminium foil. So the aluminium foil roasting of garlic decreases the pungency of the garlic and it becomes milder in taste. Lastly, as I told in my earlier slides, that we can also dry the garlic, crush them to make powder, which is an excellent seasoning and flavor enhancer in different types of food. So that is all about discussion of the flavors of raw garlic, modified garlic and onion flavors. Thank you.